Good afternoon, everyone. I'm back again. I want to take some time to do a brief overview about traffic signs that are important when you're taking the driver permit test. A lot of guys that have taken already to take the test are like, oh, it's easy, Miss Andrea, I'm going to get it. Not a problem. But certain questions are tricky. So before I actually get into the signage that I want to go over, I want to talk to you just about testing in general. When you get there, it's a multiple choice test. You know that. So it's going to be very important that you read each of the responses before you just pick one. Because what they tend to do is make it a little tricky. So for example, this right here, I tried to do a picture of a stop sign. So there's a question on the test that says, what do you do when you approach a stop sign? The choices are stop 2 seconds and then proceed, completely stop, stop and go, and then stop for 4 seconds and go. So some people put stop for 2 seconds and go. That is incorrect. Some people put stop. That is incorrect. The correct answer that they're looking for is completely stop. So a simple thing like that can cause you to get that answer wrong. So remember, when you get to a stop sign, it is completely stop. That is the best choice for a question like that. Everybody says they can drive, and that's fine, and I believe they can, but you have to be able to follow the signs of the road, the speed signs, as well as signs talking about construction or delays and so forth. So if you get to an intersection and you see a sign like this, some people think that that is a yield sign, which if it is a certain color, it is considered a yield sign if it's yellow. If that sign is orange in color, it is not. It is not a yield sign. It is more so a caution or construction sign. So you have to be mindful of things like that. Another tricky one is, and we may not see this in our area too much, but it's a rectangle sign and it says 4-way. It is not a 4-way intersection. That's not what that is. It is not a 4-way crossover. That is considered a 4-way stop. So when you get to and see a sign like that, you have to stop. Just as if there was a traffic light there. So the correct answer for that is 4-way stop, not 4-way intersection. Other signs that are important, please don't laugh at my drawing, but this is a real sign. That's an X. I should make my X in red, but that is an X. That represents no U-turn. You will be given a citation if you are caught turning when there's a sign that says no U-turn. Everybody knows what no right on, no turn on red means. So if it's no turn on red, that means you can never turn on red. But sometimes it'll say you can turn on red and it'll give a time. Right? So you could turn on red between this time, or you could be no turn on red between this time. But you'll have to pay attention to what the sign says, or you will get a ticket. Other things, school can't try to sign for, school bus comes, whether you're on a 1-lane road or 2-lane road. If you're behind the school bus, you stop. But if you are on oncoming traffic on the other side, you still have to stop for the school bus. School buses are now being equipped with cameras to take pictures, just like we have the traffic cams, of vehicles who are not stopping, and you will be ticketed. Again, too many tickets can cause you to get a suspended license. Another problem with some of our young people is they have never had the license, but they have all these citations and traffic tickets. I don't want you to be discouraged to think you can never get your license, but you need to make sure that once MVA opens after this COVID-19 is over, that you go and you find out how much money you owe so that you can begin to make arrangements to pay for that. There are programs out here that will allow you to either do community service or volunteer work so that you can work off those fees and fines that you owe. I'm not sure, if those programs are still applicable, but they used to be in existence. And again, that is something that we can look into so that will assist you in getting on the road sooner than later. Because driving illegally is not good for anyone. Another traffic question on the test is this, and that's an arrow. So that's like an island. This is your sign, right? That's like an island, and then there's an arrow going to your right, right? That doesn't mean right turn. It just means keep to your right. So again, the answers on the test could say right turn only, go to the right, right, detour right. You want to know that that means keep right only. That's it. So it's very important to read the book. I give everybody a permit book. I try to make flashcards. But during this time, I'm going to do little vignettes like this about certain things. Here's another sign. It's just arrows like this. That's supposed to be a complete circle. Don't laugh. Right? So that is telling you that there is a circular traffic circle, right? It's a circular intersection. So you have to wait for that oncoming traffic to go by before you pull out. You can't just pull out in the traffic. You have to wait to get there. A lot of people don't. There's a traffic circle out in Towson, and a lot of people who aren't familiar with driving in traffic circles can get into accidents very easily in traffic circles. Another one that is important, and you may see if you're on the Beltway, HOV, and it could say 24 hours. So that's the sign. It's usually black and white. It says HOV 2+ 24 hour. That means high occupancy vehicle, 2 people or more, 24 hours all the time, 24 hours a day. So if you're caught driving in your car, just you and not another individual, you can get a traffic ticket. And that ticket is going to have a fine. You see HOVs going to DC and throughout the different interstates. It's to get us quicker to our locations quicker. You have more people in the car. It tends to help on emissions and gas and all of that. So remember, high occupancy vehicle is HOV. And the lane will be marked, HOV lane. I'm going to do 2 more signs, and then I'm going to sign us off until the next time. So here you have, this is a bug. Don't laugh at my car. That's my car, and it's going down the road. And this is actually on a sign again. What is that? Some people think it's a curve road. Curve ahead. It can also be slippery. Okay? So you have to be mindful on the test. It could try to trick you and say slippery. Say curve, and it's intended to say slippery. So knowing signs is important, and a lot of times we may not see a lot of the signs that are going to be on the test. We may not see them because we're in the city, and you don't see a certain signs in the city. The last group of signs you'll see are like your interstate signs. It'll say 95, Interstate 95, and they look something like this. Don't laugh at my signage, right? And so it may say on there interstate. Sorry, can't spell, right? So that's the highway you're on, Interstate 95, right? We have 695, right? So knowing what the interstates are help you to get to your destination. These are usually blue signs, and they may have some red on it. It's kind of red, white, and blue signs. So those are your interstate signs. You also have signs that are your route signs. Everybody knows Route 1, and it'll usually have the number on it, and it's dark, right? And so that's your Route 1. We have other routes, Route 40, Route 40 West. People are familiar with Route 40, and it'll say 40 on the route sign, and they're usually black and white. So it's very important. Go over your manual. Look, there's a whole section on road signs. Memorize those signs. That's the easy thing to have in the back of your mind. And once you memorize those signs, you can then begin to study the other areas in the driving manual that are more complex. But once you master the signs and you know them, you know them. They're going to be to memory, right? Everybody knows what a traffic light looks like. It has 3 lights: yellow, red, yellow, and green. So practice your signs and study for the test. Practice makes perfect. And I'll see you next time.